Hey, what is going on? Where's my spliff? Shit, I just had that. I just had that right there. There it is. Just blending in. But yeah, we have the mic right here. Let me bring it a little closer. Guys, what is going on? Today, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about smoking and trading. You guys have been asking me a lot of questions on this over on the main channel. There's comments under it. You guys send me this DM. So let's just get into it and talk about it. Really good topic. I think a lot of people, not everybody is smoking, but there's a lot of younger traders coming into the market, even like even people who would be in their 20s or 30s or whatever, smoking kind of sets them off. Trading already probably sets you off, not being profitable and things just like that. But does trading add to the anxiety that you guys feel, or does trading reduce that stuff? Does trading help to make it any better? Anyways, let's get right into it. Let's just light this and talk about it. I'm missing something. I need an ashtray. Okay, got my ashtray. So, basically, yes, I do smoke and trade at the same time. Today, I was trading earlier, smoking all last night, stuff like that. But I smoke pretty much every day. Like, no, not pretty much. I do smoke every day. Just canoeing like a bitch. But yeah, this is the way I see it. Because I seen a post online going on about how I quit weed for 3 months or I quit weed for 1 month and these are the effects. They have more energy to do stuff. They're getting better sleep at night. They have more motivation. They can actually get things done. They're not lazy. And realistically, I call bullshit because maybe that is for that person. Yes, I agree. Everybody is different. Personally, I don't have any lack of motivation. I don't have any negative drawbacks from smoking. Like, it doesn't make me paranoid. I don't get anxious. I actually get really calm. So sometimes I know if I might be getting agitated, or if something is pissing me off, I might go ahead and smoke weed. I noticed a few times that if I don't go and smoke and I'm getting pissed off, but smoking just helps to make things more enjoyable to that degree. One of the negative things that I will say is that it takes a bit of time to roll. It only takes about 2 minutes to roll, 3 minutes to roll. But if I'm smoking multiple times a day, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day, how much time am I spending rolling? That is my biggest concern right now. Getting marijuana, it's fairly easy. That doesn't take much time out of my day. But I'm trying to be time sensitive with things, right? So for that reason, I only look about how much time it takes to actually be rolling and stuff like that. But other than that, I have to say, yo guys, don't let the weed smoke you. Sometimes you guys smoke weed and I hang around some of you guys. Sometimes you guys send me messages and I see people, I read stories. People say like, they get really paranoid, they get really anxious, they can't move, they can't concentrate, they can't focus. This is the thing about concentration, okay? This is the way I've noticed it and the way I felt about it. Look, I noticed when I was in high school, maybe about 10 years ago, that when we would smoke, we would feel high, right? But I was under the interpretation that this weed that we're smoking just gives us a certain energy, because I had noticed that if we go to gym class next and we're doing all this running around and all of this energy filled activities, my weed energy is going to burn out and I'll be sober right after that. And there's other cases where nothing is done during that time after you smoke, and maybe you're just getting mental activity, or maybe you're getting hungry. Yeah, or maybe you're getting hungry. But these are the reactions and the things. I always say everything has a positive and a negative to it. Not just because somebody was mentioning this recently to me because I don't eat meat, but they're like, oh, you have to eat meat. There are certain things that you just need from meat, right? And I'm just saying, yo, there are positives and negatives for everything. It's up to you, the person, to weigh out these positives and negatives. Is this something worth doing for the results that you want to attain for you, right? So I would always say, like I just said, don't let the weed smoke you. Don't let the drugs you're taking do you. Whatever drugs people be taking, like, you have to be the person in control. You must be the person in control. This weed is never making me do things, right? I see things where people are smoking marijuana and they're ending up in the hospital for vomiting. I seen this thing where people are losing their fucking minds. Like, they're unable to process what is reality. Like, their whole understanding of reality is starting to change because of the drugs that they're taking, the vapes, the government marijuana that's coming out, you know? All these things are just things that you need to put into your pros and your cons and weigh them out. Figure out how you can rise above the powers of marijuana, that high feeling where you can be in control, you know? My highs, I prefer them to be mental. And this is something else I have to mention because this is like an additive factor. This is definitely an additive factor. So I prefer I prefer sativa plants. That is just my go-to thing. I am a up type of person. I don't like the whole down feeling. I don't like the whole sleepy feeling, the whole super hungry feeling. So I prefer sativa. That is strictly my go-to, and I'll smoke spliffs. Apart from that, I do want to add this because sometimes I do trade early in the morning, right when I wake up, and I do trade late at night when I'm going to sleep around 3, 4 a.m. type stuff. And then when I wake up, whether it's like 9, 10, 11, whatever, you know? This is something that I noticed. So even though I smoke sativa weed, I do rotate it around and smoke different forms of weed. So like, or I'll intake different forms of weed, let's say like every month, because I notice if I just smoke these all the time, they become less effective to my body, and I'm still trying to smoke and get high. Yeah, I'm still trying to smoke and get high, right? So I will switch it around to edibles, to blunts, to bongs, but I never really just take a break. I might take a break for 1 week or something like that, but I really just alternate between the forms of smoking. I'll take edibles, I'll do drinks, I'll make teas, I'll do vapes, but I go through the spectrum, right? That way the high doesn't get stale on my body. Apart from that, I noticed this. Anytime I eat, and this might just be personally me, there's a book, I'm not going to mention the book, but basically the book goes to say that there are 5 types of people, and every type of person, each of those 5 types of people have a different attraction towards food, right? So me, I personally like, let's say, exotic food or snacks, right? So I like trying different foods from around the world, Mexican, Italian, whatever. I'm not into hearty foods. Like, I don't really care. On top of everything, I don't really care, you know? I'm more of the type of person to eat snacks and just try to do my work. I'm steady doing my work to the degree where I forget to eat, and then I'll end up with a headache, whatever, just because I don't even be thinking about eating until I'm actually probably too hungry. But this goes into the next point, because when I do eat large meals, my body gets tired. I know this prior, that the body likes to focus on one thing at a time, and that is no matter what you're doing, like whether it's tasks, your body likes to focus on one task. Yes, your subconscious mind can perform multiple things at once, but we're here using our conscious minds. We're just here using our conscious minds, right? So if I eat a large amount of food, there's a good chance I will go to sleep, right? Unless I'm already out and about on the road, then I might not sleep. But if I'm at home, I try to avoid eating large meals until I have like downtime that I want to go sleep. I'm like, okay, I'll lay down 3 hours of sleep right here. I'll lay down 4 hours of sleep, or I'm going to bed for. I normally eat a large meal before bed, right? That way my body has the time to process all that food, you know. And in the morning, normally I don't do breakfast. I'll probably just have a bunch of water. That reminds me, drink your fucking water. But yeah, you have to remain in control, guys. No matter what you are doing. I say this because everything that we experience in life is an altering experience. It's not just because marijuana is something that will make you feel high. It's the same thing with alcohol. It makes you feel intoxicated. Same thing with love. It makes you feel intoxicated to a degree where you'll do stuff you might not normally do. When you're in fear, you're intoxicated with that feeling. So all of these things, you need to be able to place the calmness above all those things. Maintain in control. Use these things, don't let these things use you. Honestly, no matter what it is. Guys, when I wake up in the morning, I'm motivated. I probably spend about 30 minutes, 15 minutes just laying in bed, because when I wake up, there's a set of affirmations that I try to go through, and like I be thinking about the day ahead, you know, like I just be thinking about the day ahead, like seeing the shit that I gotta do accomplished. The first hour after you wake up and the hour before you go to bed are very important hours to your subconscious mind, right? So sometimes I don't prioritize time for me, like JD, to like, you know, just do shit JD wants to do, right? A lot of times it's just work. So I try to take that morning and that night to myself, you feel me? And I try to take 1 day or 2 days out of the week to myself. So yeah, realistically, that's just how shit goes, you know? When you're smoking and trading, if you have to wait 30 minutes after you smoke to go to the charts, then do so. Are you able to work your job and smoke? If not, probably don't trade and smoke, you know? But I do believe we're growing people and we are able to do the things that we set our mind to. I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel much anxiety. I do try my best to relate when other people speak of that shit, because like, I understand the words, you know? It's like one thing as well, the idea of fear. I feel like it's something that I'm losing. But that's a really great thing, because you shouldn't understand the things that you don't want to experience, because understanding them brings a greater depth to seeing it materialize, right? If you get what I'm saying. You feel me? But yeah, so if I'm ever drunk, right, I'm not really on the charts, because I can always sober up to be in control. This is something I'll touch on right after. But if I'm ever drunk, I'm probably out there to get drunk, and so I'm not trying to trade, right? Sometimes I just have money I'm willing to lose. Like, that's something you gotta always have in your mind. Yo, this I'm willing to lose. This I'm willing to lose. This I'm willing to lose in exchange for this, you know? But that shit already gotta be mapped out before getting into that situation. So in all, I would say if I never smoked and I just took the daily ups and downs of life head on, and I wasn't smoking, right? Because I've been in situations where, let me just put it like this, I'm a very passionate person, okay? So I always try to get things done. Bro, I have a problem trying to just get things done. Sometimes people be wanting to enjoy the process. I've been smoking for like 10 years, 10 plus years now, right? I'm not even looking at the right place. I'm looking at myself, but you know, I have had those times when I smoked and the weed is just crazy strong. I've greened out once. Like, I never passed out, but I threw up. That shit happened once. If I ever smoke weed and I'm too high, I'll probably just go to sleep, because I know I'd rather trip out in my head or in a closed area like my room or some shit than tripping out in front of people and being physical, you feel me? So yeah, that's just the way I think about it. I can trade and smoke at the same time, and I believe you can too, but you must be in control. There is no other way around that. Sometimes people smoke weed and they start geeking out. They start like, oh, I can't walk right now. Oh, I can't feel my arms. You know, like, people be doing shit like that. So if that is a legit feeling that you be feeling, then I don't know, you're going to need your arms to trade, because you're going to need to click some buttons. You're going to need to tap some screens and stuff like that. So if that's you, that's probably not going to be effective, right? So either find a way to work around that, right? Get your ability back, remain in control. So you can be steady getting the job done. Simple, easy, just like that. Yeah, but yeah, so I mean, I think that wraps it up. Like, it's not really that complicated of an idea. It's just that, yo, no matter what you're doing, whether you're dating a girl, because I've had those situations, I ain't go cap, where I dated a girl and my finances started to fall apart, you know, like I'm just not as active, and I'm spending a lot more without budgeting. I'm not spending time on work. And all those things were done prior to, you know, those type of things, those type of relationships and shit like that. So that's one thing you gotta know as well. Hanging out with certain people, sometimes you gotta understand, you are you, they are them, when you guys come together, you guys are someone else. You're not the same person you are alone. So it's like two colors that get to mix. When they mix, there's something completely new. So you may act completely differently. It's the same thing with marijuana. It's the same thing with fucking breathing air. If you're not breathing air, then you're probably gonna die, you know? So all these things have cause and effects, and you need to weigh out these cause and effects, see if you can handle them, and go along your way, you know? If sometimes I do notice as well, I'll add this somewhere, but like if I smoke a lot of indica weed, right? Yeah, sometimes I switch up from the different forms of smoking, blunts, spliffs, bongs, all that shit. And then I'll also switch them up between indica, sativa, and hybrid, right? I prefer sativa, but the indicas I've been realizing more have a higher THC count, but they be making me feel hungry. I can fight the sleep, but they be making me feel hungry, and then I'm more likely to order some shit on Uber Eats and fucking eat that shit and go right to sleep. And I just don't like spending all that time in my bed type shit, bro. This is done. That's it for this video, guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. You guys show the most love, I swear to God. I appreciate that shit. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey, by the way, drop in the comment. I got some banger music. I should put some more on?
Big packs. Just up the tax.
24/7, we don't sleep. To the max.
Swing that. Fell one time, but I'm still up. He ain't budge, I think he's stuck. I had to risk it just to give me some. I know what it look like before the sun comes. She feeling my presence, she say I'm the one. Real as they come, they honey bun.